pass the popcorn because tonight Kristin puts her foot down at Uncommon James. The Mean Girls are out in full force, and of course, more party drama to come.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, AfterBuzzers. We're very excited to have you tonight. Of course, we have a full episode of drama per usual. I'm your host, Brittney Semanick, and I'm here with...
I'm Justine, and we're missing a few people today, but it's okay. Me and Brittney, we got this.
Yes, we're going to hold the fort down. I mean, there's plenty of drama to talk about, so I feel like we're not going to run out of topics tonight.
Of course not. Me and you like to talk, so we're good.
Yeah.
We got you guys covered. You won't have to worry about that.
And of course, we have our special segment, Boss of the Week. We may or may not have accidentally saw who we both chose, but you need to tune in to find out about that. And tonight, I'm excited. We're going to do some fan shout-outs and get you guys more involved, so we're looking forward to that. And what were your overall thoughts tonight on the show?
I liked it. I thought it was good. You know what I really liked? I know that we're going to get into it at a specific time, but I think one of my favorite parts was hearing Kristin and her dad talking about MTV and Laguna Beach, because it just kind of brought me back to like a trip on memory lane, and just, I don't know, it was just like a real candid version. I love hearing how people start out in their business and just kind of how it brought back to look at what she has now to how she started. And so I really like that.
I completely agree. And I feel like we've followed Kristin Cavallari's journey for so long, but yet I don't recall ever seeing like her mom we saw in season 1 of Very Cavallari, but I don't recall seeing her mom or dad like ever during Laguna Beach. I don't feel like they ever really showed the parents. They were always at the parents' house, but I feel like we don't know anything about the family dynamic. So it'll be really interesting when we discuss that more.
Yeah.
Also, we never really saw her brother in Laguna Beach that I recall. I don't think he was on it.
To be honest with you, it was so long ago, I don't remember Laguna Beach. I definitely, I watched it. I was way more into the hills, though.
Okay, see, I was Team Laguna Beach and you were Team Hills.
So, how old are you? Do you mind if I ask?
28.
Okay, you were the same age. So, how old were we then in Laguna Beach? It was so long ago, I don't really remember.
I don't know. I want to say maybe grade school into high school. I'm really not even sure.
Yeah, so there were certain things that, my mom wasn't, super strict, but, when it came to reality and, there's the kind of vibe that gave off. I don't remember her being totally, cool with that, but I definitely was into the hills.
Yeah. So, well, I think tonight was I like to coin it as a productive episode. I feel like we made a lot of progress in this episode. So let's go ahead and dive in with our first topic, the no tolerance policy. What do you think about Kristin putting her foot down, gathering everybody together and saying, look, I'm not putting up with any more BS. If you are mean, if you create drama, you're getting written up, which also I love how they don't even talk about what getting written up entails. Like, how many times can you get written up?
Exactly. Usually.
I feel like everyone's been written up at least six or more times now.
It's like, is there a cutoff? That you can't get written up more than 10 times. No, I loved it. I loved seeing her say that. It's just she needs to do it now. She can't. And she's not someone that I think is a talker, but I think that now that there's a show, it's a little bit different. It's not as easy. Maybe in the real world, she would have gotten up and been okay, you're fired. But now it's kind of you're a cast member. You're not just my coworker. You're or my employee. You're not just my employee. You're my cast member, and we need you. So instead of keeping you here, let's just move you here. It's kind of you kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. I think that the work dynamic will get better now that she's really put her foot down. I feel like every time something has happened, it's never really been directly from Kristin's mouth. It's always been Kristin telling Brittney or telling someone, Kaylee, to go relay the message to the whole team. Yeah. And this time we actually see Kristin because she's back from LA and everyone's hearing it from her. So I feel like now, and they were hearing it from Jay before, but now that's actually coming from Kristin's mouth. I think everyone's going to be a little more aware of that and kind of be more appreciative of the job that they have, knowing that they can lose it at any second.
No, 100% agree.
I mean, I don't know. I just think also we saw that they're utilizing the warehouse now too. So that will move some people out of the office space and maybe everyone will kind of kumbaya and start getting along.
Let's hope. Let's hope for that.
All right, let's hope for that. And let's go ahead and give a shout out to our fans and thank them for tuning in tonight.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, we're not going to do it just yet.
Oh, I got excited. I was like, come on.
I don't know where the live read is right now, but we would love to thank our AfterBuzzers, as always, and we really appreciate you guys, and we would love for you to follow us at AfterBuzz TV, and make sure you're tuning in and checking out our show on iTunes. You can listen to it there, and
We're on iTunes. What else are we on?
we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, AfterBuzz is on Instagram. There's so many places you can find us, and we would love for you to continue tuning in. And make sure you leave comments, because we look at those and pay attention, and we're always going to answer and take into consideration your thoughts on the show and everything you have to say, and any questions you have or topics you want us to cover. Just make sure to say hi, and we'll mention you in our show later today.
And definitely do that. And make sure to give us 5 stars on iTunes. We're talking to you over there, people on iTunes. And we're the ESPN of Talk. So thank you for making us the ESPN of Talk and keeping us, come on, keeping us being, does that make sense? Keeping us being the ESPN of Talk. I think you know what I mean.
Yes, we know what you mean. All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about...
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and talk about Kristin and Colby. They had their meeting, and we saw Colby kind of get upset with Kristin today. What do you think of that?
That Colby got upset with Kristin? You mean
Well,
Kristin?
she got upset that everyone thinks she's the mean girl.
Oh, yeah. I thought you mean she was getting like mad. But, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not surprised. You know, I think that if someone confronts you, your boss, and you feel like you're doing a good job or whatever, I think you get upset. I know I'm like that. Like, when she started to cry, I was like, oh, God, come on. But at the same time, I'm like, that would be me. I would be the one that's crying, because I don't, you don't like, who likes getting in trouble? Some people are a little bit easier at or better at hiding it, but me, it's all over my face. Yeah, I'm not good at it. So, I mean, I felt for her, but I think it had to be done. It's a job at the end of the day.
Right.
What did Kristin say? It's a job. This is not like fun time. This is a job.
I know. And then Colby came back and was like, well, people didn't really like Kaylee. And Kristin's like, I don't give a who likes Kaylee or not.
I love
like,
that.
That's not why you're here. I found it interesting that Colby was saying that she is kind of shocked that she is being portrayed as the mean girl. I feel like at the cocktail party, she knew what she was doing, and I feel like she was rallying everybody up against Kaylee. So why is she so surprised that people are viewing her as like the head of the drama and the mean girl, when I feel like we've seen her stir the pot on several occasions?
So I think there's 2 ways. So either she really is that damn oblivious and just is like one of those girls that's running around like, wait, what do you mean? Just kind of making a tornado of everything around her, where she's just almost so used to the gossip. She's so ingrained in drama that it just like kind of happens, and she goes home and she's like, well, that was a positive night. Nothing bad happened. She could be that girl, or she's fully aware and just doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
I think those are the 2 options.
I feel like at the end of the day, she really couldn't even come up with a logical answer to why don't you like Kaylee? Like, what was the instance? Like, what specifically did she do that made you not like her? I feel like she could never give an answer. It was just always like, well, we just don't like her, and nobody else likes her, and she just continued with that. But she never really told Kristin what was like the main reason. Like, did a specific thing happen? It was like almost like she was just hating for no reason. Maybe there was some jealousy going on there.
I think she's jealous because the way Kristin treats her and the way she talks about her is that she's her best employee. Like, she's literally said it. So I just think that it comes with a little bit of jealousy, and how she knows that she thinks she's a good employee. And I mean, I think that's with anything. If you have a job, you want to be the best. And even, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I want to be the best, but you want to be recognized. And when you feel like someone else is getting recognition that you also could, you get kind of butthurt about it.
I feel like Colby also got a little too comfortable with Kristin too, because she did start working in the house with Kristin, was there from the very beginning, which I'm still very frustrated that Colby's so involved in season 2 and we didn't see her at all in season 1. It doesn't make sense. She was around. I'm really not understanding why she wasn't part of the show, and she does bring a lot of drama, so I would love an answer to that. You producers at Very Cavallari.
Maybe this is just like a prediction, but just saying. But I think that it could be that there was enough going on and enough drama and stuff before in the previous season that they almost didn't really need her to be, or like they kind of were like, you need to up it. Or we need something, or you need to bring this part of your personality out. I mean, I don't know much about that kind of stuff, but there had to be a reason. Like maybe there were people overshadowing her with like more drama or whatever.
Totally.
And then people leave and then they have her come on.
Right. I feel like I just would have liked to see more of the dynamic in her relationship with Kristin, because honestly, she comes off in this season as someone that's not very likable, which kind of sucks for her. Like, I feel like people watching might not really care for Colby just based off of what we've seen, but she has to be a decent, well, I can't say she has to be a decent employee for her to be around this long, because we see some people who are still around that shouldn't be. But
Yeah, right.
I feel like if she was bad at her job, like, we would have seen Kristin approach her about that more, and we don't really see that. We just see drama from her.
Yeah, it's just more like the drama, not
Yeah.
as much about the job.
Well, we saw more drama at the Block agency party, which I didn't know this, but Chewy runs an agency out in Nashville, and his last name is Block, and so that's where they come up with Block Agency Party. And he throws a pretty good party, I must say.
I love his outfit. He comes in so extra, and I'm like, the fact that he's good friends with Jay, who's like this manly, you know, just completely, I don't know, the vibes are so different, but I just love that they're friends. It's friend goals for me.
The vibes are very different. And it was funny that Matt was like, you know, they did like, he said they did a little like gay-friendly handshake, and then he said that his wardrobe looked like he had gone through Cher's closet.
I loved that. I was like, yes.
Which is not a bad thing.
No,
like, that's an amazing thing to be. That's a compliment, in my
I'd be
opinion.
like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you that you think that I look like Cher. Love it.
Well, we see Colby and Kaylee finally approach each other. Well, I should say Colby approaches Kaylee, and she was initially afraid because she thought that Kaylee was going to throw a drink in her face, which Kaylee's never given me those vibes.
I know. I was shocked when she said, you know, I was preparing. She's just so dramatic. I was preparing for the worst. I don't know if she's going to throw a drink in my face. Like, she said she had all this stuff listed in her head that could happen. And to me, I'm just like, not for 1 second did I think any of that was going to happen. She just really not. I don't even think it's like she has it out for Kaylee. She just is like scared or intimidated or like something beyond extreme, because she came in with like a prep list of this may happen, and it was just like not that big a deal.
Definitely. Maybe Colby is having some insecurities or issues with herself. It kind of feels that way. Kind of feels like she's just looking for someone to like project her anger on and kind of pick on, because Kaylee, she, like I said, she's a little jealous, or maybe she's just jealous of how Kristin talks about her and whatnot. But I do feel like in order for people to view Colby differently, she does have to get on that mature level. Like Kristin said, she has to, you know, grow with maturity and grow with the company. And Kristin didn't feel like she's been growing with the company. She kind of just feels like as the company has grown, Colby's kind of just stayed like stuck in this crappy personality. Did you feel like you saw the apology coming? Did you think it was going to happen at the party?
Yeah, I think I wasn't surprised. I think, I know that just took me a while to answer that. I don't know why it took me so long. But no, because I just had an idea. The way that they were showing it, the foreshadowing it too, the way they were showing Kaylee and Colby, the way that they were going back and forth and they were just kind of right next to each other. Yeah, it was so awkward at first because they're like, gotta get some drinks. Yeah, like we have to get them. And like the way, I knew it from that second they're gonna segue into it, but it was just awkward. I'm just like, oh my God.
I know.
Come on.
It was awkward, but I do feel like it was a long time coming. I personally felt like it was genuine. I do think that once Kristin finally sat Colby down with the conversation and said, look, like you're basically the mean girl and everyone's looking at you as the mean girl, I think it kind of really upset her. I do think that she was really crying. I don't think it was an act. I do think that was like the bigger, more mature thing to do, because at the end of the day, Kaylee didn't even understand what the problem was, and Colby was never saying what the problem was. So just going around the office, getting everyone to hate Kaylee, it's just like a toxic work environment.
It's weird because I don't look at Colby as a mean girl. Like, she doesn't give me that vibe where she's a mean girl. She just seems like she's just like kind of out there and a little insecure, where she's just like is like creating drama without realizing it. Like, I'm not like giving her a pass, but it's almost like she's that person that drama, it happens no matter what. Like, anything is dramatic to her. Like, I don't know, I just don't get that bitchy vibe. Maybe that's the difference. She's still a mean girl, but I don't get the bitchy vibe. I get the like, maybe she's kind of the victim vibe.
Okay.
Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Definitely.
Like, I don't know. I just don't get. I think as I've witnessed Mean Girls and like I don't know. It's just not. I don't get that same vibe from her.
Well, we only saw Shannon in like the first episode, maybe the second in this season, but I got the vibe from Shannon in the first season that she was like, she screamed kind of mean girl to me. Like she kind of, I got that. But yeah, I agree. I didn't really get that with Colby, and I do feel like sometimes she can play the victim for sure. But speaking of mean girls, we saw Kristin in Laguna Beach meet up with her dad, Dennis. We saw her dad for the first time, which was really cute. It was nice to see her family finally, some of her family. And I found it really crazy that Kristin said she didn't realize when MTV was filming Laguna Beach that she was being portrayed as the villain and the mean girl until like they started getting halfway through filming, and she was like, oh, great. Was anyone going to tell me I was the villain?
You're not
this whole time?
surprised though, because I know you said you've done stuff for reality.
I have done stuff for reality, but I think she was so young. Like we had mentioned, like is it even like legal for them to be doing this reality show at this high school? Like I feel like we don't really see much of that now.
So weird.
So I feel like she was just so young and naive, and like that she had never done anything else in the industry. That I really think she was like, she had no idea what was going on.
Well, I think it is weird. That's the only show, and I never thought about it until we started talking about it, that there's never been a show, like nobody follows high schoolers around. Like reality, I feel like for the most part, they're over 21 so that they can legally drink. That's just kind of what I've noticed.
I feel like if MTV does it, because we've seen like Teen Mom too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, not that. I guess I mean like kind of like party, because think about it, they would go to parties even though it wasn't drinking, like friend groups. Like Teen Mom was literally about them being teen moms,
right?
So not really that vibe, kind of a vibe that Laguna Beach was. But I forget, like it freaks me out when I think about that I'm 28 years old and they were like over 10 years younger than me in that series. Like that freaks me out.
I know.
The age difference.
I
know.
Like, it's insanely bizarre to me.
And like it's just weird. Like, do you guys think that's weird that they had people film at a high school? Like the fact that the high school was like, sure, reality show, MTV, come on in. The fact that they were okay with it, and the parents, like I know my mom would be like, no, you're here to go to school, you're not being on a reality show. Like my mom would not be about it. I don't know. What about you? Would your parents?
No, I think my parents would have been like super skeptical about it. They would have been like, this is going to follow you forever. This could ruin your career. You're never going to get a job. Or in this case, it turned into a million different things. And Kristin Cavallari basically has her entire empire now. And she started in Laguna Beach.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you. You know, since you do know, I mean, you know more about reality than I do. Do you think when you were talking about her being portrayed as the mean girl, how do you not know though? Like, and do you think, because I don't think she's a mean girl, but even in this series, she's a very blunt, upfront person that I could see you don't want to get on her bad side. So do you think there was like truth to it? Like, is she kind of a mean girl?
I just will say that they always say the movie magic happens in post, which is post-production, where they take clips and they move them around and they manipulate them and they make them seem like something is happening that's not happening. Someone's saying something who's not really saying it to. So
oh God,
who knows? She could have shot scenes and then saw like little bits and pieces cut together and was like, wait, that was completely misconstrued. So it's very possible.
I just think, sorry, I'm thinking about, like, that's so true, but I'm also thinking about their parties, like, look who's here. I'm just trying to think. There's Steven's here. And then they all look, and it's, like, Lauren, and, like, there's Kristin. And it's, like, what did they do for fun and talk about if they couldn't, like, go to bars, clubs, party? Like, what were they doing? Doing rich kid stuff, right?
Doing rich kid stuff, I guess. I tuned in. I'm not gonna lie. I was always very interested.
They were the original rich kids of not Beverly Hills, but Laguna Beach.
Laguna Beach,
because they were all rich kids.
They definitely put Laguna Beach on the map. I feel like everyone knew where and what Laguna Beach was after that.
Now I love whenever I hear Laguna Beach. It's not just a regular place to me. I'm like, oh, I could live in Laguna Beach where there was a reality show.
I love Laguna Beach. Well, I feel like Kristin has come a long way, and I don't feel like she's a mean girl. I feel like she's a professional, very successful woman, and props to her.
And a woman that if you stand up for yourself and you're outgoing, you're looked at as a bitch.
Well,
or a pushover, and she's not.
another strong woman that we see on the show is her best friend Kelly. And at the block agency party, this is so funny. So this guy Jared, who is Chewy's friend, comes into town, and I cannot believe that he's walking around saying his decision to come to that party was based off of to meet Kelly was based off of flipping a coin. If I found out that a guy was trying to figure out if he wanted to meet me and was like, dude, I don't know if I should go meet her, I'm going to flip a coin. That is like such an insult that you don't want to actually just come meet me.
I mean, it's just weird to me, and I love that Jay was like, I don't know. To me, I just don't understand how people don't have, what's the right word for it? Social skills? Or like people, like, because he said that and he thought it was A-okay. There was nothing wrong with it. Even after, did Jay say to the camera? Was he saying to him, like, I wouldn't say that? I can't remember what he was saying to him, right?
I think he was saying it to him.
Okay.
He was saying it to himself and to Kristin, like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't say that. But then was like, caught him. Jared was about to say it, and then he was like, don't, like, cut it off. Don't do it.
It's just like, and especially after someone tells you, like, no, that's not a good idea. The fact that you, even if you still are, like, in your head, no, it's still a good idea. It's like, if other people are telling you something, like, maybe you have to take a step back and look at yourself.
I would say so, especially a grown man who is married and in a successful marriage with 3 kids is telling you not to say that. Dude, maybe you shouldn't say it.
And the fact that he's an actor, model, entrepreneur, businessman,
gosh.
lawnmower, building builder, like he's everything in the book. He's that person where you give them your card and they're like, literally, entrepreneur, model, actor, singer, producer.
You're missing very important title. CrossFit. Just CrossFit.
Oh, yes.
Actor, model, CrossFit.
That's the most random thing I've ever heard. When he said that, I was like, what?
I understand, like, you can be an actor, you can be a model. You can't be CrossFit.
Yeah, that's just like something you do. Like, if I wanted to go take CrossFit, I could take CrossFit. Does that mean I'm a that's like me or anybody that puts, that's like me, okay, on my resume saying TV host, makeup artist, and gym person, like a gym member. You know what I mean?
Or like runner. Like, that's not your profession. That's a hobby that you have. You don't put that on your business card that you're CrossFit. Like,
so, I'm sorry, I died for that.
And the killer is, this is just insane to me. He's 35 years old. This isn't like coming from a 25-year-old who just like doesn't have it together. This is a 35-year-old man who is saying that he is CrossFit.
No, thank you. And I always say this, you know, we're in such an entertainment industry kind of life that I don't need another guy that's like that. Unless it takes it would probably take a special certain person, but like for most part, watch something crazy happen and it's like, I meet someone that is actually like in the industry, because that's who I've dated out here, because I feel like it's just such a small pool with LA, but Nashville is very different. I feel like, so that's why I was a little surprised by that.
Well, I will say too, this past weekend at AfterBuzz, we had a life coach here, and I met with her for a little session, and she was saying, like, based off your maturity level and what you have going for you, she was like, don't date anyone younger than 40. I'm a 28-year-old, and she's telling me she said I'm fishing in the wrong pond, looking at 30-year-olds. This was a life coach that told me this. So she said I was fishing in the wrong pond. I'm 28 looking for 30-year-olds. She's saying I shouldn't be. Kelly is 36 years old, and if I'm fishing in the wrong pond, Kelly is most definitely fishing in the wrong pond.
So what, is she supposed to go for 60-year-olds?
No, but I mean, she definitely needs older and mature and someone that's not intimidated by everything she has going for her. She said she's been so busy and she's blogging and she works in the music industry. She's a very busy woman. She claims to barely have time to date. She has her stuff together. It's very obvious. She's very put together.
She would not go good with whatever his name is, and she didn't even like you with
Jared. And she's very pretty. I'm a little surprised that, I mean, it was funny that Reagan stepped in when she saw that Kelly wasn't having it, because that guy literally talked about himself for 30 minutes. Not once, and again, this could be very edited a certain way, but not once did he ask anything about Kelly or take the initiative to get to know her at all. You flipped a coin to be there, you're there, and now you're going to just talk about yourself the whole time?
That's what I was thinking, like, as they were editing it, and it just showed, like, the time lapse of him just talking about himself and her not saying a word. I was like, is this because they could have easily just filmed the whole thing and then while they edit it just put him talking over and over and over again, but they asked her. She's like, I didn't get to talk about myself, so it's not like they had her back it up like, yeah, I barely said a word. And so that's the reason I believed it. At first I was like, there's no way because of just the editing. But.
Yeah, it felt a little like dramatized at first, but then I was like, no, this guy, you could tell the way he was talking was just so into himself. I'm sorry, you're 35 and single, and
not
for
only
a
that,
reason.
when he said he's a model, there's something wrong with me. I didn't think he was cute at all. Maybe it's just not my type. Did not think he was that cute at all. And it's just people, especially to me, I'm like, you're talking about how you're a model, yet you're not cute. Like, go away. I don't know. Pissed me off.
Yeah.
I was not.
Go away. Well, it was funny that Jay was kind of like coaching him in the background. And then we see Jay again when Matt comes up and kind of explains his situation about how he was moved from Brittney and him had a meeting and he was moved from shipping to now customer service. And what did we hear Jay say? Jay wasn't having it.
He goes, and I literally wrote this down, I hope you're better at that.
I know, and Matt's like, "Oh my gosh, geez,
I love that
like,
about Jay, though.
Way to put me on the spot." I do too. I love that he's upfront, he's honest, and like it's true.
That's like something I would do. That's like not. I'm not saying like, oh, I love him because that's what I would do, but I respect that because it's so true. Like if you, like I hope you're better at that. Like if you sucked at it, like you're gonna say how it is, and I just love how like. I don't think he meant it maliciously. Though.
Oh no,
that's
definitely.
Why.
No,
That's
he
why,
didn't. He didn't mean it like a mean girl. He genuinely meant it. And the thing is, Matt didn't even really like.
That was like this. Oh.
But he also didn't even like really fuss back about it when Brittney pulled him aside and was like, "We're moving you to customer service." It was almost like he was like, "Okay, you're finally doing this because yeah, this isn't working out."
Yeah.
He didn't feel very like offended or upset, in my opinion.
Yeah, not at all.
Kind of just like, well, do you have another spot for me? And it was just like, obviously they're not. We've seen people do way worse things on this show and at Uncommon James, and they didn't even get fired. Like clearly Matt wasn't getting fired. He is a very likable person. He just wasn't the best person for the job in shipping.
Yeah.
So now, do we think the shipping situation is going to be handled once we see someone new come in?
Oh God.
You don't want to talk about the shipping. It's your, like.
It was a nice break having that off of this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, well, let's go ahead and dive into our special segment, which we love so much. Let's get into Boss of the Week.
Boss of the Week.
I'm bossy. I missed the song, so I'm just going to go ahead and sing it. I don't think we can get in trouble for that.
I'm bossy.
I'm bossy.
It's like the perfect song for that.
Take it away. Oh! I like that.
Thank you. We got a little intro.
All right, Justine, who's your Boss of the Week?
Very unexpectedly, especially after talking a little bit of shit about her. Colby, because she's the one that went up to Kaylee and said, let's squash it, let's move on. And that's just, she could have sat there and been crying, and who knows if she did it after, but she could have been crying, she could have been avoiding, talking trash, all this stuff. But she said, that was pretty big of her to do. I'm hoping she did it herself and a producer didn't tell her to. I hope she had enough in her to do it.
I think they were strategically placed together for it to happen, but I don't think it was forced. I do think she wanted to do it. My Boss of the Week is also Colby, which
is shocking.
I know it's shocking, but I don't feel like anybody. I'm not going to pick Kristin again, like for putting her foot down. I feel like nobody else really gave me like a whole lot to earn Boss of the Week this week.
Boss, yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely a boss move. To be able to pull a coworker aside that you've had some beef with. I mean, for you to do that with anybody, a roommate, a coworker, like, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, no, not at all.
You do go through scenarios in your head, like, oh my gosh, this person's going to blow up on me, throw a drink at me. Like, that does happen. You do go through scenarios. So it's definitely not an easy thing to do. So I think now that will kind of flush out some of the issues that they've been having at Uncommon James.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and shout out to some of our fans that have been active on our YouTube page and kind of just go over what they were saying here. Last week we had PN say, Kelly is into Jay. She wants that funny banter relationship he and Kristin have. Kristin is an idiot. To be honest, I think Jay is too good for Kristin.
Wait, whoa! Okay, first of all, like, I totally understood what you meant. I definitely think Kelly's into Jay.
I think
so,
too.
And she wants, but I don't think it's in, like, I'm going to steal him way. Like,
No.
it's like your friend, if your friend's dating, there's no way, like, friends dating someone cute, attractive, fun, like, yeah, like, it's not that bad to be like, yeah, I have a little crush on him, but it's not, nothing's gonna happen from it.
I think she's just single, and I think it's totally innocent. I think she just wants something like that. She wants a relationship like that.
Yeah.
Like, I met one of my friends, one of my good friends' fiance, and like I loved him, but like not to the point where I want to take him away from her.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved him to the point where like I would love to have a guy like that.
Yeah.
Like the qualities he had, but I'm not trying to like steal him away.
That's what I think, and I think she's just, saying a crush is the wrong word, but no, she likes him. She likes what Jay is, and she's like, I wish I could find a guy like him. I think that's definitely how it is. I don't get why they don't like Kristin. I think she's an idiot. Like, no explanation.
All right, Pan, maybe you should comment today and let us know why you think Kristin's an idiot.
Yeah, I don't get it. I want to know.
But we appreciate you watching, and we love the feedback in the comment. Also, Kristin Doling, I hope I said that right. I think Kristin needs to take her own advice. She needs to stop talking about her employees to her best friend. She does need to be more professional with her staff. I agree, and I think she was more professional with her staff tonight. So I think she finally stepped it up and was like, all right, this is a no tolerance policy now, and we're changing things. This is professional only now. I don't care who you like, do your job, period. Mm-hmm. And then Colleen McDonald, I saw a few of her jewelry pieces at Nordstrom. It looks better online than in person. Poor quality and cheap looking. Too much money for what it is. Love your after show. Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you for loving after show. And have you ever seen it in real life?
No. So Colleen and I had a conversation on here in the comment section, and she had said that her necklaces tend to be a little more of like the cheapy kind of necklaces, but she said that the earrings do have like more value, which the earrings look they look fabulous on Instagram. Kristin always, when she gets ready, she'll post on her story like which necklace she's wearing, which earrings. I'm definitely gonna hit up the Grove and get some earrings here soon. I'm like very, very, very interested. So
I know you got to wear them here and then tell us all about it.
Well, we appreciate you guys commenting on our page, and yes, I will get back to everyone on the earrings. So stay put, and go ahead and follow us at AfterBuzz TV and keep commenting, and we'll mention you on the show. And I think it keeps the conversation super fun, and we love getting you guys involved. And now we're gonna get into some news and gossip. Woo!
Okay, so Kristin this girl is definitely a boss, so I kind of want to add her into the boss of the week because she announced on her Instagram that she's going to be hosting a new reality show called Paradise Hotel, and people are excited for her. I mean, she's killing it. She has her company. She's going to be hosting this. The thing is, what I'm confused about is how her and Jay are talking about how they don't have a lot of time together, and Jay's missing her, and it's this whole reverse parenting thing. And now she's adding something new to the plate. Like, are she going to have time to do anything?
I know. Do you know where this is? Where does this take place? Let's take a look.
Has reopened for business. And this May, new sexy singles are checking
It doesn't say. I know it's Mexico, though.
Okay, well, it's not Nashville. I can tell it's not Nashville from this.
So the corniest.
That is so crazy. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't. I feel like their relationship has to definitely ebb and flow because when do they ever really have quality time? Like, they have to be exhausted. Just exhausted. I mean, not him maybe, but I mean, I'm not going to say not him because what we don't see is like, we see Jay picking up sticks and all this stuff, but really like he's parenting the kids when Kristin is at Uncommon James, which we don't see because she doesn't include the kids in the show, rightfully so. She wants them to grow up and make their own decision. So
the thing is, especially for the host, if the filming's 2 months, say, does she have to stay there for literally 2 months? Or if there's some times off, could they fly her back home? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that works for the host of the show.
If I had to guess, I feel like it would be pretty similar to the way The Bachelor set up Bachelor in Paradise. Like, their shoot schedule is going to be like, Paradise is probably like 3 weeks solid, every single day shooting in Paradise. And like the host of the show is there. They can't, like, the host always has to be there in case.
Because I know it's 2 months.
In case something crazy happens. I mean, yeah, this might be, it's hard to say. I don't exactly know the premise of the show. I don't know if it's, if the timeline is as important as like a show like Bachelor in Paradise, or if they can like go on dates and come back and revisit. I feel like she's going to probably...
But they'll fly out to her maybe. Maybe she'll have them come.
My guess is she's going to have the kids and Jay there for an amount of time in Mexico. I mean... I'm sure they could get someone to work the farm.
Yeah, right. Do you think she will be a good host? Because when I heard she was the host of it, I'm like, okay, Chris Harrison makes sense. He's been doing that forever. You see on Survivor, God, I forget what his name is, but the same guy's been doing it. There's certain people that think about how, you know what hosting entails. Has she ever done it before? Like, I was very surprised. How is that going to work?
I think she'll be really good just because I've worked over at E! Entertainment and we've had her on our after shows and she just always delivers. She's just the type of woman who you put a task in front of her and she just does it. Like, it's like magic. I think she'll be really fun. I think it'll be really fun. Yeah. Definitely. And then we also saw on Kristin Cavallari's Instagram, which we were talking in last week about how long Uncommon James has been open, and we were like going back and forth about it. They officially had their 1-year anniversary, which is super exciting.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I really do think she's going to make it out here in LA and have a store, and I think
for sure
it definitely has the potential to be very successful. It's definitely going to cost her a lot more money. I feel like I'm like driving around West Hollywood constantly seeing stores close because the rent is so expensive. So it'll be really interesting to see where she ends up setting up shop. I don't know. What do you think?
I think she'll definitely come out to LA.
I think she will. I just don't know if it'll be, I don't know. I can't, where do you picture her store being in Los Angeles? I feel like it has to be in West Hollywood.
Yeah, because at first I was like Melrose, but I'm like, no, Melrose is a little bit edgy. I feel like she's definitely more like, what is the price point of her stuff? Like it's not like Beverly Hills type, right?
No,
yeah,
it's definitely affordable and
so maybe
appeals
like,
to a wide audience. But then again, well, I was gonna say the thing that
Sunset Boulevard, somewhere in Sunset.
Yeah, it has to be like
feeling.
neutral. The reason why I'm kind of stuck on figuring out where the store would be is because she also has Little James, which is her new line of like children's clothes, and I feel like a more family-oriented place would be like maybe the Valley or like a bougier place like
I was thinking
the Palisades where she had her pop-up. And maybe that's why she's testing out these pop-ups in these places.
What
she
about,
tested out the Palisades for Little James and then she tested out the Grove. Maybe the Grove.
Yeah, why not? Or what about like the beach?
Yeah.
Santa Monica, somewhere like that. Or like, 'cause I was thinking Laguna Beach, but I'm like, would that not create as much traffic? Because it's not LA.
I just don't know how many locals would be into buying her stuff, so I do feel like a place like the Grove would be perfect because she already knows and she probably kept track of her success at the pop-up that people from all over go to the Grove. So it'd be a super smart move.
I think the Grove would be really smart.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. Well, let's get into a few more predictions. We saw...
And now, your AfterBuzz
What
TV
did you see?
Well, we saw Colby and Kaylee finally hug it out and apologize. Do we think that this is going to change the dynamic at Uncommon James?
Oh, God, I don't know. Colby's so dramatic that I feel like... All right, so it could go either one of two ways. They squash it, and then there's drama with someone else, and they're getting offended by... Kaylee, Jesus, I'm good with the names.
Kaylee,
And
yep, you're good.
like,
No, you're good. Don't doubt yourself.
Yeah, no, Kaylee, like I feel like someone may, they'll be offended by her, or it could just go back right the way it is. Like things are great, right? And then the second they come in, Colby gets offended because Kaylee's telling her to do her job, and then it's automatic. Like I thought she changed. I thought we had a good conversation, and she's doing it again. One of those.
I agree. I think also I have like a little prediction for Kelly. I sadly think that she might stay single the rest of the run of the show. I don't know.
I'm always single, so I'm with her.
I mean, I feel bad because she's so great and amazing, but I don't know. She needs to be on like The Bachelor or something. I don't know.
Throw her on there. She's a little too old for that.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the girls are like 23 years old.
Yeah, they said it this year in this season that the one girl was 33 and they were calling her a cougar.
They were calling a bunch of the girls cougars. And the Bachelor last year, it was like this whole big thing. This one girl that was on it, her name is Becca. She's 22, and it was this whole big thing that like she's only 22. She's only 22. And this year, everyone's like 23. It's like it wasn't that big a deal. I think people at different shows just pick something they want to go with.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Kelly is still single, 36 years old. We wish you the best of luck. We'd love to have you on the show to talk about all the dates that you go on and everything. So I hope you're watching, and we might just reach out to you to have you on.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say thank you to all our AfterBuzzers for tuning in tonight. We had a lot of fun, and we can't wait to have you next week. I hope you go follow me at FitBritLA_.
And you can follow me at Whoa. Justine DiVanna. I swear, I have a couple Instagram pages. That's why I'm like, follow me at Justine DiVanna. And then on my page, you can see I also run kind of like an entertainment Instagram, and then one just of my makeup looks by Justine. So you can
Follow her everywhere.
follow me. It's too much to say. So just go into my profile and you can find my stuff.
Thank you. We'll see you
Thanks,
next
guys.
week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.